What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So, of course, you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we have the details for the new super evolved Sanji and Judge. This is one of the most anticipated super evolutions that I've been waiting for. I'm a big fan of the generic Sanji Judge, and now we have information on what he does, and I was really hoping for big things. And while he is a better unit, I would say, there's definitely some things about him that I don't like what they've done here, but we'll talk about it. Before we jump into the new unit though, we're going to briefly talk over what the character originally does. So this is my current Sanji and Judge. So we've got the dual captain here. So the thing about it is you needed 6 powerhouse characters on your crew to get the team to work, which was kind of annoying. So you get the 4.25 bonus in their dual form, obviously very low. And then if you have one of every color on the team, you get a health boost, and psi recovery tandem are going to be beneficial. So you needed to fulfill these weird requirements of having all powerhouse but one of every color in order to get everything to work succinct with this unit. And of course, debuted with the German 66 rare recruits, which were very powerful, and you could build a really strong team with this character as your lead for that squad. We move on to the special. Very simple special, removing 5 turns of paralysis, which was very good, and then double the attack and slot effects of Powerhouse for 1 turn and combined for 3 turns. So a very simple special, but a very good special nonetheless. And then we've got the switch effect of this unit, completely removing their own special bind and then changing their own slot, including block, into tandem, and you get a 1.25 chain multiplicative buff for 1 turn, which is fantastic. Very strong effect that you can stack with chain additions, chain boundaries, and very good switch ability that was used quite a bit. So obviously we're hoping for big things with this character's super evolution. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First of all, the artwork for this unit looks really good. I don't currently have the ink effect to show off for you guys, but I can only imagine that it's going to look pretty sick. Let's go ahead and break this character down. So in their combined form, they are Powerhouse Fighter, Sanji, Powerhouse Fighter, but Judge is a powerhouse-driven character. Let's talk about their solo effects first. So we've got Sanji here, and by the way, this is with maxed level limit break because he does receive level limit break upon super evolving, so keep that in mind. This is like the max capacity that you'll get with this unit. Sanji's captain ability, reducing cooldown by 1 at the start of the quest. Surprise, surprise, you love to see it. Then it boosts Powerhouse and Fighter characters' attack by 4.75, 1.25 HP, makes psi recovery tandem matching, and 15% damage reduction. So that's a pretty okay captain ability. There's now no restriction on having one of every, or one powerhouse character on the team, or all characters being powerhouse and one of every color for anything. So that component of this character I do like. And now they've kind of shifted where now he boosts powerhouse and fighter characters. I think that's actually really cool, and obviously works very well with the newly released Legend Reiju, which is going to be coming for the Kizuna Clash. Go check out my previous video if you haven't seen it yet. But let's move on over to Judge. So Judge, again, -1 cooldown, 4.75 times attack, 1.25 health. Psi and tandem slots will be beneficial, but here's the kicker here. If every type is on the crew, tapping on this character with a psi or a tandem slot gives a 10% resistance down for strength, dex, quick, and int for 1 turn. While I think that's actually good, I don't like the fact that he doesn't give resistance down for psi as well, so he himself isn't getting an additional bonus because of this. That's also very weird. I understand that you have one of every type on the crew, so the rest of your crew does damage, but I feel like if you're tapping on this character, as soon as you tap on the character with the slot, it'll activate the resistance, so why not just add psi resistance as well? Just give him more damage too. Very weird. But one thing I will say, I am very happy that there's no crew condition to get the full attack boost. It is actually really cool, and the cool thing is actually that I've just noticed too, Judge is a rainbow captain. You don't actually need to, he doesn't like boost just powerhouse and fighters, he boosts everyone, which is pretty cool. If we go over to Sanji, he only boosts fighter and powerhouse. Very interesting stuff. Okay, now their combined captain ability, so you got -1 cooldown at the start of the quest, powerhouse fighter, 5.25 times attack, HP by 1.25, psi recovery tandem matching, and reduces damage taken by 20%. No real surprises here. If you have one of every color on the crew, tapping on this character with a psi and tandem slot gets a 15% resistance down to strength, dex, quick, and int for 1 turn. Again, I really wish they would have added psi resistance as well, just so that this character does more damage, but it is what it is. At least, you know, an additional 15% bonus to the rest of the crew is pretty good. And if you're running double Sanji Judge, then you can get that twice. So you get like a 30% resistance added for the whole crew, which is, again, pretty strong. So captain ability wise it's okay. I don't see really many issues with the captain ability at all. Let's move on to the special. So the special is interesting. Remember, this is with level limit break. So first of all, it's now a damage dealing special, 300,000 damage to a single target. I think that's pretty good, damage dealing special, so you can have certain supports on it to proc. I don't really have an issue with that. I think that's pretty good. Then it reduces paralysis and reduced chain multiplier growth rate duration by 7 turns. So this is also kind of interesting, and obviously this character with the switch effect giving a chain multiplicative buff is actually pretty strong, and being able to remove chain debuffs like that is kind of good. But I think that they could have selected a much better debuff to remove rather than chain multiplier growth rate reduction. But I do like the fact that now the paralysis is removed by 7 turns rather than the previous 5, so I do like that. And you can have the support of the 20th anniversary quick rare recruit Brook to remove an additional 2 turns of paralysis. It's a strong effect. And then Powerhouse and Fighter characters' slot effects are boosted by 2.5 for 3 turns. So this is one of the big changes that I'm not a big fan of, right? This character now does not provide an attack boost with their special. They only provide an orb boost. And it is buffed, you know, previously it was only a 2 times boost, but they gave attack and orbs. This guy now only does 2.5 just to your orbs. So that's annoying. And then also become Sanji Judge for 3 turns. If you have an attack buff when you launch the special, extends the duration of that attack buff by 1 turn. And if every type is on the crew, further increase the attack and orbs of your crew by plus 0.25. So there you go. This does, you know, provide some pretty interesting stuff, but you might ask the question, how do you get the attack buff? Well, I guess we can take this time to have a look at the switch effect. So you can see the switch effect here is the exact same as before, completely removing their special bind, giving themselves a tandem slot and a chain multiplicative buff. Now the super switch will do the same thing, but now the chain multiplicative buff lasts for 2 turns and the attack buff is in the super switch. So you get a 2.25 times attack boost for 2 turns, and it will change their own slot and adjacent slots through block slots into tandem. So more tandem slots, you get the attack buff through their super switch and the chain multiplicative buff for multiple turns. So what they want you to do is using their switch ability to grant you the attack boost, then using this character's special to extend it to 3 turns of an attack boost, and then this special provides you the 3 turns of the orb boost if you have one of every color. The attack boost from the switch and the orb boost from the special will both be increased by 0.25, giving you a 2.5 attack boost and a 2.75 times orb boost. So one character providing, you know, lots of slots, attack and orb boost, debuff removal. It's pretty solid, right? But I don't like the fact that they just removed the attack buff from the special itself, because it means now you have to stall for your super switch to actually get the buffs that you would have gotten in their original form. I get what they're trying to do here, but I feel like instead of shuffling these specials around so you force people to use the super swap, I feel like the super swap should have just given you a different buff altogether. It's just really strange, you know? Like, I feel like I would have loved it if the attack and orb boost was still on the special, and then, let's say they were only 2.25. So lower the multipliers, give them the attack and orb boost in their special, and then make their super switch buff your attack and orb boost by 0.25, and maybe buff the chain multiplicative buff, rather than, you know, force your way so you have to use the super switch to get the attack buff. Now, I will say that there is benefits to them doing this in such a way, because now you can get access to a super switch which can grant you an attack boost, and that can be very strong, especially if the enemy has an effect that, you know, allows you, or like negates you from using an attack boost. You can use the super switch instead to get around stuff like that. So there are positives, as I said, but man, it's frustrating. And another thing that I do find kind of frustrating is the switch ability, even from the get-go, always removed their own special bind completely. Yet, in their special, they don't remove special bind. So that, I found that a bit frustrating too. Like, it would have been awesome if this character removed 7 turns of paralysis and 7 turns of special bind. Holy moly, this would have been great. And honestly, I probably wouldn't be as kind of upset about it if this character removes special bind and paralysis, because those are 2 very annoying debuffs to remove. And if you have a character that can do all that in one special, would have been godly. A little unfortunate that he doesn't though. So that's my little recap there of Sanji and Judge. I'm a little bit upset about what they've done with him because they've just moved some effects around in his kit to make it a bit more frustrating to use. His captain ability not giving himself the resistance down on the enemy so that he himself does more damage. Also a little frustrating too, but I will say the super swap is pretty strong, all things considered. It does take 6 switches to get it, which is frustrating that they keep giving these super swaps with 6 switches, because in treasure maps, they only charge 5 gauges of your super swap, which means you have to switch once and then get the super switch. That is annoying that they do that, but I don't know. I think that they could have done definitely a bit better. I'm not saying this character is bad. This character is still going to be hella good. But there are definitely some components of this character that I think could have been designed much better. Before we wrap up the video, let's talk about their Rumble kit very quickly. So in Rumble, they're going to give buffs to Fighter and Powerhouse now. I believe previously it was only Powerhouse. So they give level 6 HP, level 6 attack, and when his HP is 70% or below, they give himself level 8 attack buff. So Rumble ability, I don't have an issue with. This is pretty solid. We move on to the special though, 27 CT. Large horizontal range, 3000 fixed damage. Fighter and Powerhouse get level 7 attack and level 4 defense. Now the buffs I don't have an issue with, but what I do have an issue with is that he is a fixed damage dealing special. Why would you give this character a self-attack increase of level 8, by the way? That is a massive increase for himself, on top of already giving level 6, so he can get up to level 14 attack by himself when his HP is 70% or below, yet he has a special in Rumble that is fixed damage. It literally makes no sense at all. I don't get why they do that, and like, it just should have been a multiplier based on his attack, and then the buffs of attack and defense should have been before the damage. That, you know, structuring that better would have been a way better way to go about it. Alternatively, what they could have done is, instead of making him fixed damage, is like just do the fixed damage, but then add a multiplied damage as well. Like just make him do both things. Make him do fixed damage and multiplier damage, and then even increase the CT if you think that's too broken, you know? Like there's ways they could have designed this character so much better, and it's frustrating to see because this character, I mean, on release, this character was pretty amazing, right? And of course, as time goes on, the values of his special and the multipliers, they get power crept, obviously. But they could have done so much better to make this character, you know, a much better unit now with this super evolution. And I feel like this is a massive missed opportunity here. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about the super evolution of Sanji and Judge. Like, I think they're still going to be a good unit, no doubt. They're going to be a really nice unit to have. But again, like, just missed out on a few really nice things that would have made this character much more efficient to use. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about Sanji and Judge down below in the comment section. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.